Welcome back, Indians.
We're here to bring you certain facts that you may not have known about our campus.
Ever notice the odd underground rooms underneath our campus?
We risk the lives of our finest reporters to bring you the truth.
I wouldn't say finest, but still reporters.
Well, let's take a look.
All of the students have wondered, what are the rooms for? We have found the answer.
It's a crawl space. It's a oversized crawl space. The electrical that's down under there runs the H-wing buildings. That's where the timers for the lights are. That's where a lot of the new solar panel work came through. And then the sump pumps are dashed down there because there's always water underground and it leaks through.
There's bomb shelters underneath the H porch over here, which used to be the college, and the main high school was over at the admin building.
Well, that was actually kind of interesting.
I agree, it was definitely a unique story.
What if Mr. Whiskers was down there?
How do we know it's a mister?
You're right. We should empower all women on our campus, whether they're feline or human.
Girls United is a support group that emphasizes overcoming adversities, self-empowerment, and pride. So these girls all have a lot of different backgrounds. They've all come from different things or have gone through different things, but they're able to come together with the goal of self-empowerment.
When I first started, it was kind of scary because I thought people were going to judge me for what I went through. I feel like right here I can say whatever I want.
The idea for this program was brought to me by Miss Whipple, who's a gym teacher. I used to be kind of this bad kid who never really wanted to participate or anything. And so I think for her to see me kind of progress and become such a huge turnaround was what sparked the idea for her, for me to start this program and help other girls through that same transition.
I now believe I'm going to college. I want to be able to go to college and show my parents that I really care about my future.
Isn't Kimberly your prom date, Emma?
You mean that beautiful and talented, and did I mention beautiful human? Why, yes.
Right, so did you hear about any of the choir concerts that happened this week?
I didn't go.
What do you mean you didn't go? There were 4 of them.
Someone please help.
Can we please cut to the next clip?
Can I please?
Choir is super cool overall because it's music, but in instrumental music you don't have words. But when you're in choir and you're singing your music, you're singing a text, a poem, or something with meaning. And so you're portraying emotional meaning to your audience. So it kind of takes music to another level, especially for the audience. And so we get to share very meaningful, or fun, or entertaining, or sad, or happy text with the audience. First of all, the music is beautiful that we pick. Second of all, we sing really amazing concerts and to huge audiences. And so it's really part of Napa, the tradition of Napa, to be able to sing for these great audiences. It's very social. A lot of kids really like it because they get to really see their friends every day that they might not otherwise see in other classes. But in choir, such a big class, you can see your friends every day. And we take some really fun trips the kids really enjoy. Don't see the end. Like a lot of times they don't realize, in 2 weeks they have a concert, so we really have to improve this today. A lot of times students don't see what's coming down the road. But we know as the teachers that we have 2 weeks to really perfect something. And I know for myself, I always have a plan. Today we have to improve the section or the sound. I think when it comes really close to the concert, for example, today, we rehearsed in this room because tonight we have a concert. Then students really understand. Tonight's the concert, we have to get it together. And then something magical happens because everyone's trying their best. But a lot of times I don't think students realize beforehand that pressure of the upcoming concert. Well, first of all, we have so many choir classes. Mr. Rogers is the full-time choir teacher here, but he doesn't teach more than a full-time job. A full-time job is 5 classes. Well, we have 6 choir classes. So I teach the treble choir class on a regular basis. And then we also like to split the choirs and on a regular basis split the men and the women of all the choirs. So the women can prepare music alone and the men can. So what I do is I come a couple times a week and I take all the women of the other classes and Mr. Rogers takes the men of the other classes and we prepare separate music. So it gives us more repertoire to learn and it gives us a chance to experience, you know, just a men's choir or just a women's choir instead of always the mixed choir.
Good job to all the choirs for receiving unanimous superior ratings from the judges.
This has only happened one other time, 5 to 6 years ago.
That's amazing.
Yes, now on our last segment of the day.
Both Mr. Pridy and Mr. Gassner are great teachers here at Napa High.
Well, we did a project. Do you remember that project?
Yes. Shall we relive it?
No.
Decided to do this project because we think it would be a great way for the students to learn about the effects of the Great Depression. We've been doing this project for a couple years now, and both of us being coaches and would like to compete, thought it'd be fun to add a new wrinkle this year, which was to pit the two classes against each other in a competitive fashion.
Depression plus drought, and this leads to the no water symbol. And then, since there was no water and no crops, that
Classes had a rubric, and so the expectations were clearly defined to the students. And you know, as far as having his students in my classroom and my students in his classroom, I thought it was a nice little different than what we've done normally, but it was fine. The kids seemed to enjoy it. There was a little anxiety at the beginning, but I think both sets of classes did great.
You know, I actually liked that project.
Well, that's all we have for today.
See you next time, Midians.